Yo, what's up, fight fans? Back again with another deep dive into the world of MMA. Today, we're talking about something that's been on my mind for a while, Dana White, and whether he should still be the face of the UFC. Now, I know Dana's been a huge part of the UFC's rise, but let's be real, things have changed. The sport's evolved, and so have the expectations. So, let's break it down. First off, let's talk money. Reports say Dana White pulls in around $20 million a year as UFC president. That's a hefty paycheck, especially considering the UFC sold for $4.025 billion back in 2016. And let's not forget, Dana reportedly made about $300 million from that sale. So, with all that cash flow, is Dana still putting in the work? Or is he just cashing checks while the sport keeps growing? Or is he just gambling with influencers? From a UFC fan perspective, it seems like Dana White does not care about the UFC anymore, and what happens in the sport doesn't matter to him. Whereas things like power slap and boxing he seems to actually care about and put effort into. Here's where it gets interesting. Dana's been branching out. He's got Power Slap, a slap fighting league that's been getting some serious backing. Reports say Power Slap secured a $15 million deal for 4 events in 2025. And then there's his involvement in boxing. He's co-promoting big fights like Canelo versus Crawford Point. But here's the kicker. While he's out there promoting boxing, the UFC's biggest fights are still on the back burner. Fights like Islam versus Ilya and Tom Aspinall versus John Jones, still not happening. Instead of promoting Tom Aspinall, Dana has done his best to do the opposite. Even a couple years ago, you would see him go on shows and talk about fighters like Francis Ngannou. Dana went on a media run talking about how he is the hardest-hitting human in human history. Where is this for Tom Aspinall? Where is the promotion for Ilya Topuria? Unless he is doing it himself, there is none. The UFC promotion game has just turned into a clip farming promotion. Let's talk promotion. UFC's social media game is all about viral clips and drama, but where are the high-quality trailers? Where are the face-to-face interviews that get fans hyped? Boxing's been killing it with those, and it shows. The UFC needs to step up its marketing game. We need to see real stories, real rivalries, and real hype, not just clips of fighters arguing or shouting at each other. Or interview with ex-Playboy model asking unneeded questions to professional fighters, instead of real promotion like they used to do with in-face interviews like they did for John Jones versus DC or Masvidal versus Till. And then there's Dana's attitude. Lately, he seems like he's just going through the motions. His responses are predictable, and he doesn't seem as passionate about the UFC as he used to be. It's like he's clocking into a 9-to-5 instead of leading a global sports empire. He constantly stops press conferences early or not let them go on longer to build up more hype when something interesting happens. This has led to the UFC press conferences being monotonous and boring. That kind of energy trickles down. If the leader isn't fully invested, how can we expect the rest of the organization to be? So, what would the UFC look like without Dana White? It could be a chance for fresh leadership, new ideas, and a renewed focus on the fighters and the fans. We could see better fight matchmaking, improved fighter pay, and a marketing strategy that actually gets people excited. It's time for the UFC to evolve. And maybe that means moving on from the guy who helped build it due to his increasingly lack of interest in the business and sport and the out-of-touch takes. Dana White is not the only person that can promote the UFC, and Conor McGregor proved that his is the sole reason for UFC being as big as it is today. Not Dana White, he did play his part, but it seems like we have been brainwashed into believing Dana is the savior of MMA when this is not the case. That's it for today, folks. Let me know what you think. Should Dana White step down, or is he still the right man for the job? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Catch you next time.